the Mavericks are interested in wanting either Myles Turner, who doesn't want Myles Turner, or John Collins. And personally, adding either one of those guys to Luka, to a team with Luka, is a huge win in my opinion. Just as a shooting center, a guy who can play defense, protect the rim, switch like Myles Turner, and John Collins is such an explosive player. Turner's price tag is definitely a bit lower than Collins. But
100%.
what would it take to get either one of these guys for the Mavs?
Yeah, so there was a lot of like Turner trade rumors. We had like the Gordon Hayward, they wanted a swap there. Then we had Dom wanting OG Anunoby, which is a rumor from Pacers insider. So
Yeah,
that was not a real rumor. Obviously, they want OG, but we're not going to trade him for the Myles
yeah,
Turner. So those are like the two rumors that are most prevalent. And then if you just see what the Mavs have to offer, it's either Jalen Brunson and then something to make the cap fit. So it's either Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, someone like Dwight Powell. But the big player would be Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson's young. He's good. He could get you points. And I think he's the best player like to go for the Pacers because I think he's better than Gordon Hayward in the terms that he's younger. So
mm-hmm.
like he can actually grow and build, and he could build like a future with him. Whereas Gordon Hayward's already in his 30s, and you're just gonna be
Yeah.
another middle of the pack team if you acquire him. And I think the OG one, you can only get OG if you throw in picks too, right? So do you really want to throw in 3 first round picks when you're not even in the playoffs right now? So
Yeah,
probably wouldn't do that. So yeah, Jalen Brunson is who I would be targeting if I was the Pacers and looking to get Myles Turner to the Mavs.
I agree. And the thing is about the Mavs, if you trade away Brunson and you bring in Turner,
You're huge.
you're huge, and who outside of Luka can dribble the basketball, right? Who outside of Luka can run a pick and roll, right? That's been a problem they've had the last couple of years, and Brunson was always the one guy that Luka could fall back on, whether it was on the court at the same time or coming off the bench as a six man. So there's obviously a trade off there, but I think everyone in the NBA likes Brunson, and I think the Pacers would be lucky to get him. You could probably he could just back up Malcolm Brogdon at the point guard spot. That
I
you
think you
know,
could start at the point guard, move
yeah,
Brogdon to the shooting guard.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
There's just a lot of things that you could do that would move Sabonis to the center, which is what we wanted to see for a long
yeah,
time. Sabonis is the center. Like a lot of the times when you're looking at the starting lineup on the NBA app or whatever, it literally says Myles Turner power forward and
yeah,
Sabonis center. So like that wouldn't change much. But anyway, um, there's a trade off with that. How about John
yeah.
Collins? So do the Mavs they can't get John Collins, right?
No, they can't. Unless though, I think the only way they could get John Collins is like if some other like third team, whatever, loves Jalen Brunson because Jalen Brunson is their biggest trade asset, and he
Yeah.
just doesn't fit alongside Trae Young.
Yeah.
Fits alongside Malcolm Brogdon because Malcolm Brogdon is big enough to play the two, and
Yeah.
can play the two. But
Yeah.
Trae Young is a point guard; he cannot play the two, and Jalen Brunson's a point guard; he cannot play the two. Yes, he plays the two with Luka Doncic, but Luka Doncic is
Mhm.
like 6'6". So
Yeah.
Luka Doncic guards shooting guards and he guards point guards. If you ask Jalen Brunson to guard shooting guards, he's gonna get destroyed. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely not something the Hawks are gonna do unless they get a bunch of picks. And then we're talking about stuff like that. Then it becomes a little iffy situation. So I think the John Collins one is extremely unlikely that you're trying to be a third team to sneak in and get him. But the Mavs one, I think they definitely do have a good enough piece because Jalen Brunson this year is averaging 16 points, 5.6 assists, 3.8 rebounds, 1 3 a game, while being one of the best like off-ball players too, because he's playing off of Luka Doncic. So that's definitely gonna be an interesting player to grab for them. Yeah, it's like you said though. Do you trade that playmaking, that ball
Mhm.
handling, for another big? It's a toss up the Mavs have to come to a decision with.
Yeah. And they're in kind of a sticky situation because this is with the third year in a row where they're like, you know, they're respectable, they're good, they're probably going to get into the playoffs, but do we realistically expect them to do anything in the playoffs? They,
No,
they need to make some additions to this roster, but it's hard because their only asset that's worth anything is Jalen Brunson, unless they wanted to do something crazy and like try to get someone to take Porzingis. But
yeah,
yeah, it's just tough. I feel like they're going to need to make a free agent signing at some point, maybe hit on a draft pick, or I don't even know, something like that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here so you never miss the best clips from Stretch the Floor. Hit the links in the description below to find us on all podcast platforms, and follow us on Instagram.